Hey, Marie, back with another video. Part 2. It is 4:46 p.m. I'm following up from the first video. Sorry I got cut off, but things got a little crazy. So anyway, I cut off at my mid-sentence, and what I was saying was, if people believed in incest, okay, then they made me out to be the bad person. I was the bad person. I was not the bad person. I have never been the bad person. The bad person are, I would say, number one, Polly and Stephen's mom. And the very fact that they orchestrated something like this to go behind the scenes to manipulate my life based on something that they have an issue with, okay? These women are not respectable, in my opinion. Okay, but I'm thinking that, you know, a lot of racism had to be played into this, because if you were going to basically punish a woman for being in a situation where she's being controlled and being dominated and being, trafficked, while this is an issue relating to their marital disputes, which has nothing to do with me, okay? Joel was married, he kept it a secret, okay? As far as this, Stephen's mom is concerned, I haven't seen that woman over 30 years, okay? So this whole Facebook issue, she must have approached Karen, and Karen must have thought, well, I must have been making googly eyes at her son, so therefore this, Elsie's behavior is justified. She has every right to, basically open fire on Maria. Or, unless, of course, she used the lie that I was eventually supposed to be getting together with her son. If that was the case, it is a long courtship. It is taking him a very long time, okay, years, okay, to actually work up the nerve to even talk to me. But in the meantime, we're going to throw in a bunch of, employment manipulation. Can you not see why this is bullshit, and how stupid these people were to go for this, okay, to fall for this, okay? These people have not talked to me. None of these people who got involved in this will talk to me. You know why? Because they're ashamed of themselves. Because the real root of it is, number one, Stephen's mom is carrying on a relationship with her son. She doesn't want him to have a normal life, okay? And really, I had no idea he had a mental illness or mental disability until just recently, okay? But she doesn't want me to be with her son. So this is a vindictive, jealous bitch who feels entitled to sit here and make these sort of decisions. And she's working through, she worked to Karen. Karen bought into it. Now, was it racism that blinded Karen's eyes to accommodate this woman? Because I will tell you, all I remember about his mom was that she was a nurse and that she was a widow of a man who committed suicide because he could not find adequate employment. He couldn't find employment at all, okay? And I'm pretty damn sure it was because of her. All right, so she knows how to manipulate people. She knows how to destroy people's lives, and I doubt that was an accident. Okay, so whatever your reason was to accommodate this woman, you made a serious mistake. Serious. Okay, so back to this issue. Now, I wanted to talk about incest. Okay, because this whole thing has been swirling around in my mind for the longest period of time. Because you're ready to persecute a black woman. Okay, and it has to be done a race. It has to be a racial issue in this situation. Okay, you're willing to persecute a black woman because of a relationship issues that make absolutely no sense, when it's obvious that these people are at fault. Okay, and if you don't want to point the finger at Polly, you can point the finger at Joel, because Joel knew obviously that he was married and was running out back to me when I had absolutely no idea all this stuff was going on. So he had full knowledge of it. Okay, so stop pointing the finger in the wrong direction, okay? Your racism has blinded you to a very important fact. These people are traffickers, plain and simple, okay? Now, back to the incest issue, okay? So the incest issue is that, I'm not trying to hate on people who have different lifestyles. I believe live and let live. You live your life however you want, okay? But, to me, I think that there was some sort of attempt to make me jealous of their situation. It's not about jealousy. It's about fear and anxiety, because I'm looking at something like if you knew that your husband was an axe murderer or something else, it's like you find out something that disturbs you greatly. Okay, so it's not, I couldn't be jealous of a situation like that. You know what I mean? It's too weird, but yet these women have this delusion in their head that, oh, I beat her. And see, this whole thing was about competition. I will tell you, it's all about competition. Just like when all these women were coming up to me talking about hot look, creating issues relating to the religious issue, all these little petty issues. If I had a conversation in my house, the next day it had to be picked apart. Whatever I said, they had to contest it. The reason why is these women have a sick, wet need to sit here and try to compete with me. Okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, there is nothing to envy about a woman who cannot find a man outside of her gene pool. There is nothing to envy about that. There is nothing to envy about an old woman who adopts young children to raise them up to be Manchurian candidates so that they can actually find her sexually appealing. There is nothing to envy about that at all. Okay? If you are thinking that I'm going to envy you because you are basically manipulating your mentally disabled son, and I'm going to emphasize the words mentally disabled, you've got to be kidding. I had no idea he was mentally disabled, okay? But now I understand, okay? But the point is that what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way, but I'm just going to come out and say it, you're fucking pathetic is what you are. All right, now, Steve and his mother are stalkers. They're the same stalkers that we're talking about, domestic stalkers. Just because I was never married to Steven doesn't mean that it's not considered to be a domestic stalker. Anybody can be a domestic stalker. Typically, it is a family member, okay? It could be a spouse, it could be a sibling, it could be anybody, okay? But anybody who's basically doing things behind the scenes, okay, which is what these people have done, are stalkers, okay? And yet people bend over backwards to accommodate them. And I'm going to assume that it was their race that gave them the ability to do that. Because most people, I mean, I can't even imagine somebody thinking that this was okay. You know what I mean? So racism blinded these people, okay? And if Karen accommodated this woman because she thought that I deserved it or some weird shit like that, I will tell you right now, I didn't. And number two, this is obviously racism because this relationship makes no sense, okay? And I would say that most relationships where mothers dominate, and and the word dominate is very important here, dominate their children, okay? To limit their abilities to have normal lives, normal functioning lives, that is a very sick individual, okay? I'm not even going to bring up the husband issue, okay? But you get the picture. So if the objection was to bring me and Steven together, if this was a lie that his mother used in order to convince all these people to go along with this, okay? Now, this has been going on since this whole jump, what do you call it, hop, skip, and jump, going to this employer, going to that employer. Let's just go right back to 2013 after I left the Murray's place, okay? So all these places, I'm assuming that this bitch was in control, okay? So didn't anybody think, okay, if this was the lie that she was using, okay, didn't anybody stop to think, okay, well, 2014 went by, 2015 went by, how come these two aren't together? If that was the case, okay, because she was lying, okay? If somebody gave her the authorization to do what she did because they felt like she needed to get back at me for something that never happened, okay, then I'm going to tell you, why would you allow this woman to enact some sort of vendetta or some sort of rage against me? When, number one, the most important thing is it never happened. But the fact is that you complied with it and agreed to it. Either way, I don't care how you slice it, you're guilty, okay, of human trafficking, gang stalking, which is a crime, okay? And I'm angry about it. All right, so their issue was to convert me. Okay, their issue was to try to change everything about me. If I said up, then they said down. If I said that I like drinking water, then they're going to say they like to drink soda. If I said I don't go to church, they're going to shove religion, their fake, phony religion, up my ass, okay, and around the corner. Okay, so my thing is, at what point was it going to stop? Okay, were you trying to basically convince me to convert to your way of living, to be an incestuous child molester? Or what exactly, how far was your programming, your little, community programming, and further than the community, how far were you going to take this, okay? Because I will tell you, I would never, ever accept your lifestyle. I would never be like you at all. There is nothing I admire about that. It is you are a shame and embarrassment to mankind, okay? Seriously. So, basically, I was thinking, a few days ago about this kid that I encountered one time. This kid was playing a video game, okay? He was playing this video game, and he was slaughtering his, the enemies in the game. I forgot the name of the video. I don't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter, okay? And I'm not really up on video games anyway, because my son had video games. Joel used to have video games, and I really don't remember the names of them, okay? And they probably played them in front of my face all the time, but I don't care about technology. But the point is, he was playing this video game, and he was so into this video game. And, he said a few times, "I will kill you for Jesus. I will kill you for Jesus." And I kept thinking, okay, that kind of threw me for a loop, okay? Because this kid's no older than maybe 7 or 8 years old, okay? But I will tell you that this kid was programmed, and I don't care how you slice it, no matter how you look at it, something like that should never come out of a kid's mouth, whether he's joking about something like that, or if he is joking about it, why is that funny? Why would that ever be appropriate for anybody to say? I personally think he was brainwashed by some sort of fundamentalist group, okay? And I will tell you that nobody has the right to kill, even for Jesus, okay? Because Jesus never asked for such a thing. So that kind of stuff is scary, okay? And the sad part is it's working on that little kid, and it worked on a lot of adults who can think better, who are supposed to know better, okay? This kid was obviously brainwashed and didn't understand what he was really saying, but either way, it's one of those things that came out of somebody's mouth that literally made me cringe, okay? It's serious, okay? So you'll see this brainwashing going on with a bunch of people. This brainwashing, this what I call demonism. I've been thinking about some of the information that I've read on demonology in the last, I don't know. I've had an interest in, of course, the metaphysics, science, and all that stuff for a very long time, all my life, really. But every once in a while, I get this interest specifically in the topic of demonology. And a lot of people think that, demon possession is something that is just so in your face, like the Linda Blair movie where she flips her head around a couple of times, or that they think your eyes are going to bug out, or you're going to froth at the mouth, or that, you're going to look all wild and crazy or whatever. That's not it. Demonic possession is very subtle, okay? It is a very subtle thing. And just like, they call alcohol spirits. Why? Because you take on a different personality. Being around certain things, okay, can change a person's behavior, okay? And it can make, you see it on the news all the time. Some sweet, innocent, nice person that everybody likes suddenly goes off and does something that's unspeakable, okay? And everybody's like, oh, I can't believe that he would do such a thing. And I'm sure you probably don't think that. He probably ordinarily wouldn't. But he was influenced in such a way that it completely changed his behavior. What I see here, to me, I feel as though there's a lot of demonology. I mean, what do you call it? Demon possession involved in this, okay? We're either dealing with demons, the demonic, we're dealing with a lot of ignorance, okay? But ignorance, I believe, is a gateway to be possessed by demons. I really do. And I'm going to go into that some other time when I talk more about spiritual things. But this whole issue relating to the incest and then persecuting a woman who's basically a victim of one of the biggest crimes you can ever commit, okay? And to defend, you're basically defending these people. And they enacted this out through the workplace. Now, there's, certain mayors knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Why is it that these people don't put two and two together and think, okay? Obviously, I have protested several times. I don't agree with this. I don't want this. But yet they still allowed it to happen, okay? What we have here is a huge scandal, okay? And you have pointed the finger at the wrong person, all right? I don't know Stephen's mom intimately enough to where I would sit there and put my life in her hands, okay? And I certainly have no intentions of ever, emulating her, Polly, Karen, anybody. I'm going to live out the rest of my life being Maria, all right? And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, but you sure as hell don't have the right to touch things that belong to me. I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back with another one later. Bye-bye.